Alright, g'day guys, welcome back tonight to another Campaign Cartographer 3 video. Tonight we're going to be looking at an add-on called City Designer 3. Now this is the add-on that lets you build cities and towns. Obviously it comes with all the artwork and styles and tools to allow you to do that quite easily. So let's jump over and have a look. Alright, so in front of me you can see I've got Campaign Cartographer 3 running. I've just got a basic map up that I was using previously. But what we're going to do is we're going to go File, and New. Won't save the changes, and you can see now we've actually got a new option on this list for cities, if you've got it installed. We've got a menu here that lets us pick which style we're going to map in. You can see I've got some extras installed from the annuals, and I've got some different styles as well. I'm going to try this, where is it, bitmap? Bitmap B, we'll try bitmap B. It comes up with an option here for what the dimensions of the map are going to be. I'm going to go 500 by 500. I'm going to call this my first town. We can actually select the background here, so I'm going to leave it as it is and click Finish. Alright, so you can see we've got a basic map up here. I've got a bit of a blank canvas. You can see the tools have changed over here to the actual City Designer 3 tools. So for anyone who's new to the tool, you should probably go through my previous videos. I do sort of walk through a lot of the extra buttons that I personally use. I probably only use about 10% of them, but it lets me make maps. But anyway, over here you've got the symbol selection. Up here you've actually got the symbol categories, so you can actually click these to change the symbols that are visible. If you want to see all the symbols that's in a category, you can right click on any one of them and it'll bring up the list. And over here we've got the City Designer 3 tools. Alright, so let's start with the tools because that's probably the most important part for setting up a town. We've got roads, we've got houses, we've got streets, we've got floor plans, and then we go into things that are a bit more detailed, so the color layers, and what's this one? Actually, I don't use this much. Create index. This button here is a list for all the tools. So let's start with a road. We can click road and just left click, left click, left click, left click, and go out. Right click to finish, and you can see it's created a road. So I'm just going to draw a road. I'm going to have an intersection. Alright, and we'll build our little town around this section here in the middle. So once we've got a road, as I said, that's just left click, right click to finish. It's pretty simple. We'll put some houses down. But let's have a quick look at the road tool a bit more detailed. We can right click on it and we can bring up different options. We can click display sample and it will actually show what the roads look like. So if we want fatter roads, we can make those. If we want a bit of a section in the middle, we can use that as well. Now, what I actually kind of want is I want to make a bit of a circle courtyard in the middle. So I'm going to create this road square dust. I'm actually going to create a copy of that. Alright, road circle dust. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just change this to sketch, fractal. Getting there. There we go, that's what I want. I want a smooth option. Alright, so I'm going to click OK. I'll save those settings. And now if I right click on here, we can actually see I've got the circle option. So I can actually So again, I'm just right clicking. Left clicking, creating my thing, and then right click to finish the circle off. Alright, now, let's bring that up again just so you can have a look. There's plenty of options there for you to play around with. Now we start doing houses. Now, you could start with the houses on this side if you wanted. You could just pick something that you like from here. Here's the city bitmap A style. Here's the city bitmap B styles. Alright, you can see there's quite a few. So if we go the city B, hold shift to rotate and move your mouse. I can put that where we want. Maybe put a bit of a tower in here, again holding shift to rotate, holding control and move my mouse to change the size of it. And then we'll just do a classic house. Alright, so there's everything you can do there. If you click that button and you go through all of these, there's lots and lots of different styles. And you might want to pick a specific style that you use for your map, and I would recommend you try and make it sort of all align. I'm holding control and shift, by the way, to free rotate here to put this one in. Now there is another option here. See, if I hold my mouse over the road, you can see the house kind of connects. So I'll connect it here, click once with the left mouse button, and then it kind of aligns it with the road, and then I can move my mouse up and down to position it perfectly along the road. Left click again to lay. And obviously using this, you can actually quite easily put a lot of houses in pretty quickly. Alright, so that becomes quite easy. There is some other stuff you can do. So if we see this plus sign on the house here, you can see all the different styles of house that are available, and obviously you can scroll through those by pressing tab when you've got a house open, so should you want something different. And then you see there's these different coloured versions of everything as well. So if you actually change colour, you can actually change the colour on your house. Alright, so you can really sort of do some advanced stuff with this. Now, with your houses, so your house tool up here, you can actually draw your own houses. You don't have to use what's in here. So you can see all the different styles of house. Oh, there's an interesting one. We'll try one of that. We can set which actually style it's drawing from. Go find one that you like. Something like that. We've got the hovel coming up. We'll go back to the hovel. So as you can see, we can change all the colours. We can change what type of roof it's got. The hatching. But what we're going to do is we're going to insert, and we'll click over here, we'll click a starting point, another point, and point 3, and then we join it together and we move it until we're happy. Alright, now there are other stuff you can do. Okay, so obviously you can use this tool up here to draw all sorts of different types of houses, and you can modify them. There's also this extension bit, and this can be pretty funky. So over here, we're going to click on this house here. We're going to click. Now keeping in mind, if you watch the bottom of the left end of my screen in the command section, it's actually telling me what to do now. I've got the tool selected. So point within house, click, house edge, click. That work? No, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Extension, click. I think maybe I'm just clicking the edge of the house a little bit too. There we go. Alright, so clicked on the edge of the house. Now the option comes up to do the extension. Will come out fairly well. And there we go. And you can see using that, it automatically puts an extension on the house, and that can be pretty handy, I've got to admit. What we're going to do for this next one is create a rectangle house. And then we'll create a rectangle house. And then we'll right click on the house tool. I'm going to do a connection. So we can click on the house 1, click on the house edge, next house edge, and now we've got an extension between the two. There we go, so we can actually join houses together that way. So as you can imagine, I'm putting down houses pretty easily. I'm using a lot of different varied styles, and you're probably going to want to pick one style that you use, or at least a very similar style, and keep with it. So these vector houses, for example, don't look very good in comparison to these other houses. But obviously the functionality to extend them is quite significant, and that might be attractive for some people. Excuse me. Okay, let's have a look at this next tool. It's the street tool. So what we're going to do, I'm going to click on it. It says first enter street. Pick starting position. Oh, there we go. Alright, see what happened there? So basically I pick the street tool, I click a road. I'm going to click the second end of the street now. I'm actually drawing a street here. Alright, we can see we've got the houses down. So I'll just Control Z that. Let's try that again. We're going to click the road. I'm going to pick the start position. I'll pick the end position. And then houses go down. We'll do that again. We'll click the street tool, we'll click the road, click the start position, click the end position. As you can see, that was very quick. So that's a random street tool. And if we right click that, there are some other options. We can change the styles that it's working with, for example. We can change the spacing that it's available for them. And you really just sort of want to play with it. Alright, you can see there's even randomization elements there. Alright, so you can very quickly make cities with this. And there is the ability to actually draw a random city. Oh, I think you can actually draw it with a road somehow. Like a random road. Maybe I need to learn how to do that. Now keep in mind it is laying random entities, so if you want to delete them, you've got to delete them all. Alright, so that's the basics of how to create a road, how to create an element of cement or whatever, maybe using dirt. You can obviously lay down things like, you know, a marquee in the middle, or a fountain. Might be a flag on that fountain. Alright, so get creative, use your imagination, do whatever you like. Now, this tool is a bit more powerful than what you were just seeing. The next tool we'll discuss is the floor plan tool. So I can click that, click a building, right click and go do it. Here I get to pick what style I'm going to use for this, and then I give it a name. Master's house. Alright, I'm going to click OK. You can see there's now a border around this house. If I click it, I'm prompted to save. And what I have now is a floor plan for that house. Now I don't know about you, but I think this is bloody cool. Now if you got Dungeon Designer 3 installed, this is where this really shines, because you can now bring open your door tool and turn snap off. And all of a sudden we're putting down doors and tables and chairs and put some lighting effects in. Alright, I'm not going to go through this completely because obviously using Dungeon Designer 3 will be probably a completely separate video. I just wanted to point out that this is possible, because now I can transition from here back to the main menu, which has my city, and I can continue to build my city, but I've also got the primary buildings that I want my players to run through. Is, you know, very easy for me to get the floor plan and fill those in as well. So I think that's awesome. I think that's a really fun ability. Now, just to show you that it is possible, where I've done the joining, I'll select all of those and click do it. H house. Use the same style. I can click it. Middle mouse button I'm holding, by the way, and dragging to move things around. And as you can see, we've now got the walls there, no problems. This one's actually made a bit of a mess, so I could probably we'll probably do like a cut or something. We'll do a break. Oh, turn snap off. Oh, I actually broke it. I'm not going to worry about that. You get the point. You can dress things up and you can have a bit of fun with this. Alright, so we're going to get out of that. We'll go back to the main menu. Just to let you know, you can do things as well like trees. If you find a suitable tree icon, which they do exist in the packs, you can decorate things. You could put hedges around stuff. Alright, so you can have a bit of fun with that. What's the next one? The next one I'll probably just show you would be the toolbar icon. So if we right click on this, we can see a list of all the tools inside this style. Alright, you can see some different things. So we've actually got some terrain for fields here, so I could draw a field. Alright, and then we've got some farmers. Now, keeping in mind with Dungeon Designer 3 that what you're looking at now is the raw version. Now we can actually go into the Sheets field up here, click and go Activate Sheets, and click OK, and then we actually get the fading effects added to things. So the fields look a lot better now. You can see we've got shadows around all the houses, so things look a lot more realistic. We'll turn that off and we'll keep going. It doesn't really like it when you edit in this mode, so probably not the best idea to be editing around, but it's certainly good to know that you're there. I'm just going through the different versions here. Oh, here's a city wall. So say we wanted a wall, we could do that. We could probably do things like put a guard tower at each end. It's wanting to snap. Alright. So I'm not going to go into too deeply what we can do with this tool. I think it's just a matter of showing you what's possible. You can have a lot of fun with this. You can lay your roads, you can lay your houses down. You can certainly do some water effects if you've got them. So, for example, we could have a bit of a creek going in. Right click and we'll go down to the water tool. Alright, so there's certainly things that we can do. I personally wouldn't use a straight line for water lakes, but you know, whatever. So yeah, that's City Designer 3, and I think you could make some pretty crazy stuff with it. Just to give you an idea of what I've been messing with. This was my first attempt at a city. Alright, depends on how much time you want to spend with it. You can really spend some time doing this up, and I've not used any of the random street effects to do this, by the way. I've just done this all manually. As you can see, my machine does not like it when I've got all the graphics turned on, but you can certainly do some cool stuff with it. So look, we'll leave you there. That is City Designer 3, the very basics in a nutshell. Very powerful software for making obviously cities and towns. Your imagination is really your only limit here. I mean, you've got all the styles and symbols and tools that you need to do it. You just have to use your imagination and go off and have some fun. So, look, that's City Designer 3. I certainly have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed using it. I don't know everything about it, and I'm sure there's more efficient ways to do what I'm doing. But from a perspective of just sitting down and having a play with it, hopefully this will help people to get an idea of some of the different tools and what they're used for and how to use them. As always, if you've got any questions, you can always contact me on Facebook, or you can contact me via the comments below. If you do find my videos useful, please do subscribe to my channel. And for anyone who's paying attention to what I'm doing, I will be looking to set up some streams in the near future. So doing some interactive sessions where people might want to come along and actually ask some questions, and hopefully I'll be able to give them some answers over the actual live stream. So something that we can try out. But anyway, this has been City Designer 3. I'm Josh Plunkett. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will speak to you guys all online, and have a great day.